20s is a little concerning. You heard the rumors, now I'm hearing confirming. I made a friend in my 30s.
Welcome back to Jam Mechanics. My name is Matt Johnson. I'm from the act that you may have heard of, you might not have heard of, the Narcissist Cookbook. With me in the Jam Cabin is...
It's Bug from Bug Hunter.
You've heard of Bug Hunter, illustrious, incomparable.
Everybody's heard of Bug Hunter.
Yeah, I think the news will have broken by now that you are wanted across the world. Everyone's heard of Bug Hunter. Nobody knows where you are. The Jam Cabin is in international waters.
Jam Mechanics is a podcast where Matt and I, we're songwriters. Here's what we do. We're going to be challenged today to write a song. We have a jam consultant that will be arriving here at Jam Cabin here pretty soon. They're going to come in. They're going to give us a couple of prompts that we're going to take. We're going to internalize them. We're going to go. And in about 3 hours, we are going to have 2 new demos to show off to you.
But before that, we got to get to know each other a little bit
It's been
better.
so long and we don't know anything about each other.
We're less than a month away from going on tour for... I don't know how many times we've done it, and it's like we don't know each other. We gotta ask these questions.
I don't know a thing about Matt. It's so weird. We spent so much time together. So we have a little segment here called Time to Get to Know Each Other, where we take listener submitted questions. If you ever want to submit a question, go to our Discord. You can find Discord link in the description of the podcast, and we have a little form there that you can enter a question. So this one, Paul asks, you get a restaurant menu item inspired by and named after you. What is it? What's in it? And why?
You know what? I kind of already have the usual, and they don't even give me a menu anymore. I'm just like, you know what I want. Mm-hmm. And I go into Nicky Tam's and I get a halloumi burger. I love my halloumi because I'm a vegetarian, and it's kind of like meat. And also it is cheese. So those things are, what a bonus. They do actually just put it through as a Matt burger. On
the Matt burger.
They put it through as a Matt burger on. Oh, you know, actually, no, I've got it. What the true Matt burger, and they can't do this anymore, was a. Oh God, this is giving me palpitations just thinking about it. It was a halloumi burger, so you know, bread bun, halloumi burger with a tomato in there, and then macaroni cheese on top of the halloumi. So just like carb, dairy, carb, dairy. And that wasn't on the menu for a long time. It was on the menu, then they took it off the menu, and then I came in and I was just like, puppy dog eyes, and they said, okay, you can just have it. And that was the true Matt burger, and now they don't do any of that shit anymore. So have you got a regular?
I actually do have a restaurant menu item named after me. At a real...
Oh, you do? You do.
I really do. The previous drummer for Bug Hunter, his name is Marcus. He was a drummer on the Rough Draft, and he moved from Seattle back in like 2018 after we recorded that album, went to go hike the Appalachian Trail for like a year. And anyways, he settled. I think he got lost on the trail. He settled in Portland, Maine, never came back to Seattle, but he opened up a bar there called the Paper Tiger, and they had a mocktail on their menu called the Toddler with a Slingshot. I think they've done a new one called the Platonic Best Friend, and there's always a mocktail on their menu named after me because I don't drink alcohol, and so Marcus, in my honor, has always had a Bug Hunter themed mocktail on the menu at Paper Tiger. So if you do happen to stop by Portland, Maine, and you wanted to get a Bug Hunter inspired menu and potentially meet the drummer of the Rough Draft, go to the Paper Tiger. It's a cool spot.
Wait, did you ask me a question or did I ask you a question? You asked me a question.
I asked you that question.
If you had to eat a liter of condiment without anything to accompany it, what condiment would you eat and why?
This is a bad question, LK. I wish you hadn't.
That's a great
so
question.
Hold on. I have to convert this to American. A liter?
I actually have no idea. What is a gallon?
I gotta Google this. Hold on.
Yeah, it's like 2 bottles of Coke.
Okay, not as bad as okay, yeah, 2 liter. We do that. Okay, so half of a 2 liter of a condiment. My choices being ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce,
garlic aioli. Like you got so
that
many.
That sounds too rich, as opposed to all the other ones, which sound divine.
Well, the other question is like, do you have to be like waterboarding yourself with this, or can you just sort of do it? Yeah, you can take up to, I'm going to give you a time limit. You can take up to an hour to do this.
So ketchup is kind of just like a sweet tomato soup. If I put myself in that mind space, there's a potential.
Yeah, I'm very specific about ketchup. It has to be Heinz ketchup, and if it's not Heinz ketchup, it tastes like bad. So yeah, I bought like 50 Heinz ketchup sachets online, and then I would just carry one in my wallet and be like, "Do you want the condiments?"
You did not carry a ketchup packet in your wallet.
I got a bunch of ketchup in my fucking wallet.
Every time you sit down, just go.
Well, then I started carrying it in like the side thing in my backpack. The thing is, those sachets don't keep for very long. I think they're designed for industrial environments, you know, where people are using 50 packets a day, not one packet every week or so.
When you come to America, I'm going to get you a little holster on both hip. You can keep little Heinz ketchup bottles.
This is why I can't live in America, because that stereotype already exists in America. Whereas here I'm breaking new ground. I wouldn't want it on my hips though. I'd want it like secret agent, like under my armpit.
You got it on the ankle. So when you
yeah, you can search me. Or like the Desperado taxi driver that it's
Assassin's Creed blade. You had to remove a finger in order.
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed blade, but it goes like shing, and then it just goes like, and then it goes like shing back in.
That was my favorite X-Men, Wolverine's brother, who just said a claw's coming out. It was just squirts of ketchup. He worked at McDonald's.
So we are Jam Mechanics, and we got a little special guest today in the studio, knocking at the door of the Jam Cabin. You may know him already as the lead guitarist, stroke multi-instrumentalist of Bug Hunter, and also Galloway, and also God knows, because this man is a musical whirlwind.
Yeah, this is Jesse Galloway. He's got his hand in pretty much everything.
If you're eating a pie right now, chances are Jesse Galloway's fingers are in that pie.
Just to give a quick little introduction to how I know Jesse, we met at an open mic in Seattle in like 2018. It was love at first sight. Jesse, say hi to our audience.
Hi, audience.
Jesse has his own band called Galloway, makes amazing music, and has been a contributor to Bug Hunter since the rough draft. Basically, the very first practice that Jesse came on came up with the breakdown in Disco in the Panic Room. It is now our most popular song that we've ever released, so immediate impact in the band. Plays bass, plays kazoo, plays guitar, plays piano, plays a little ukulele. You are here today to give us some prompts. But before we do that, we have an icebreaker question for you. Are you cool to play with us?
Yeah, why not?
One thing I know about Jesse is when we go on tour, you have a nose. You will always find us the best food. No matter what city we're in, you will find it. We rely on you.
Yeah, we'll just be like standing on a corner, and you'll just be like, "There's a Thai place 2 blocks from here that's the best Thai you've ever had in your entire life, and we're going immediately."
So Brooke asks, best and or worst thing you've eaten while on tour?
Oh gosh, on tour. Well, I'm partial because, and this is funny with Papa Bug, but we were in Vegas, right? And there's a chain that I'm really familiar with in San Diego called Tacos El Gordo, and they had Southern California locations, but they also had some Vegas locations. I was a bit skeptical, right? We all got back to an Airbnb, and Papa Bug's like, "I'm hungry, I want to get food." I'm like, "Well, I have an idea." And I was trying to undersell it because I hadn't been to this particular location, but we bring back food, and he takes a bite, and he's like, "I am so mad that you undersold this. This is the best food that I have had."
Yeah.
No, the thing is, like, you and Papa Bug are like such a good team for food, because he is just like a relentless hype man. I feel like if you give Papa Bug something that's even just slightly above average, he'll be like, "This is the fucking," maybe he wouldn't say fucking. This is the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. And it's just like you guys just like really wind each other up with food, and it's incredible to see.
My sister has a rule in our family that my dad is only allowed to talk about how much he loves any particular meal 3 times. Once he said, "This is the best thing I've ever eaten," 3 times, he is not allowed to talk about it anymore. It's like a daily problem in the house. So Jesse and my dad are like best of friends on the road for that reason.
You know, I really do believe there's going to be a point in my life where we're just doing a cooking show, or it's just the 2 of us, like an off spin of this universe.
Watch that so much.
Can we tell the Chicago deep dish pizza story?
I think we have to.
We got done with the merch line and we realized that we all, of course, wanted deep dish pizza, but it takes a while to make, and no one had taken the initiative to actually order it before, like when the show ended, because we have like an hour and a half after the show ends before we can finally like get out of the venue. And so we order it, but it's going to take a while. We've been kicked out of the venue at this point, but we can't leave because the pizza's coming to the venue. So we're in the van outside the venue. It's 11:30 at night, and we're just waiting. We're waiting. We're just like, all right, this pizza's going to show up any minute now. It finally does. There is zero cutlery. There is zero plates. There is zero napkins. It's just a box with pizza in it.
And it's not been cut as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the caveat. It's also an uncut pizza. Yes.
There's zero slices.
It's a one-slice pizza.
And so my father, Papa Bug.
I'd forgotten about this.
My father, my dad has a pocket knife that let me be clear. This is not a food knife. This is a pocket knife.
This is an everything knife.
This is a general purpose knife. You're having to cut cable ties and things like that. You cable tie up the cables, boxes. It makes sense to have a knife, right? But this is not a food grade knife. It's just a pocket knife. And he was like, oh, the pizza's uncut. Shwink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, that's your knife that you use for everything. You've never washed it, ever. I've seen you lick it and then put it back into your pocket.
Which is weird, because you never use it for food.
No, I don't know why you do it. It's kind of like when you try to intimidate people and you just lick the edge of the knife. You know, you do that move.
Are you on the guest list?
And he was like, I'll cut the pizza with my dirty knife, and basically the entire band vetoed that move. And to this day, he thinks we're all a bunch of babies for not letting him use his weird ass knife to cut our pizza with. We ended up finding a plastic set of cutlery in the glove compartment, and
Which did not work.
It did not work. We basically just, like a bunch of animals, just tore at the pizza until we had some in our hands and ate it.
It was assisted tearing, for sure.
We evolved over millions of years to be able to absolutely disembowel this Chicago deep dish pizza at midnight on a curbside, you know, with our bare hands.
And it was delicious.
10 out of 10,
It was
great
so
experience.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, loved
Would
it.
do again.
Yeah. Jesse, this is something that we ask everybody. What's your jam? What's a song or artist that you've been listening to recently that you want to tell our audience about? Give them a little shout out.
Are you both familiar with the band Wolves of Glendale?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the song Olivia?
Yes. No. It's so good.
No, Bug. Okay, you need to listen to it because I'm a huge fan of like a couple things I like are like the 80s synth pop kind of genre, but also anything with horns. I like a good brass section, you know. But this particularly, it gave me like the 1975 vibes, but Olivia is just, the storytelling is so great. I don't want to spoil it, but I highly recommend it. It's good, witty storytelling. I looped like the first two verses religiously.
Speaking of two great verses, let's get down to jam mechanics.
Here we go.
All right, so here's how this is going to work. Jesse has brought to the table today two prompts. Jesse's going to pose both of these prompts to us. It's not a Matt picks one, I pick one. It is, we are going to discuss which of the two prompts we both want to leap off of, and just kind of gives us a little bit of wiggle room, make sure that we're feeling creative about things going into the break. So with that in mind, Jesse, give us a little bit of entropy here. What's prompt one for us today?
My prompt one, as vague as it is, it's going to be not in this lifetime. I'm not going to explain myself.
Not in this lifetime.
That could be a few different things. Not in this lifetime.
Not in this lifetime. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm already twisting it. I'm already.
It's meant to be twisted. I think when I frame this one, there's a very literal one, but there's two ways to spin it. So I think this might be good for this kind of format. But
yeah, Jesse, give us that second prompt.
Yeah, it's going to be training arc.
Training.
So like you're getting better. You're improving. That kind of mentality.
Okay, you know? like training montage.
That comes to mind. Doesn't have to be specifically a montage, but yeah, just the self-improvement, getting better, training. Okay. That is a concept. I
instantly think Mulan. I think
I went to the anime route, and I was thinking like some training arcs with like Demon Slayer.
I'm watching Mulan in my mind's eye at this moment.
I've never seen Mulan, so I'm watching Bill and Ted's Baby Shoney. I think the one that like Not in This Lifetime resonates with me. That sort of like it taps into themes that I go into quite a lot. Training Arc feels like I would struggle not to make it a sort of throwaway comedy song.
I think that's where I'm at too. I think in my head, Training Arc, I want to subvert Training Arc, and that makes me want to write a stupid comedy song that spoofs the idea of a training montage.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that comedy song has been done so many times.
Yes,
already.
That's what I think too. I think I don't have anything to add beyond exactly what you're imagining right now.
There's a montage.
Yeah. So I think I'm good for Not in This Lifetime.
Not in This Lifetime.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take 3 hours to work on these songs. Jesse, thank you so much for coming in here with your prompts, getting our brain juices ready to be milked, as Matt likes to say.
I don't like saying it.
You love saying it.
No. I say it a lot, but every time I say it, I hate it. Like I'm not.
Jesse, do you have anything that you would like to let our audience know about? Things going on in your world?
I want to tell people to listen to NFO by Galloway. I love that song so much. That's on my when I do the music for events and when we were on tour, that is on our tour playlist. It's playing through the speakers before shows.
You can throw a dartboard at your computer monitor and, and hit any Galloway song. Go buy a new monitor. And then whatever song it lands on, it's going to be a great one. But yeah, so I'll plug Galloway right now. If you're not listening to Galloway, you need to go listen to Galloway. Great, like funky, but like there's so much variety in all the music you make. Anything else? Anything specific you want to tell people about?
Yeah, the next song's going to be out on June 14th. I'm working on promotion stuff, but I mean that'll be right at the end of tour, so I'm going to probably be in the tour van on my laptop editing little promotional videos.
We're going to be in Boise.
And if you're coming to Boise, bring a cake. Bring a happy release day cake.
But yeah, I just wanted to end it with I'm thankful to know both of you, and like we've become great friends over this time. Aww. And yeah, this is really cool to see you all doing this, and you're challenging yourselves, and I love that. So thanks for having me, and I'm excited to see what y'all come up with.
Appreciate that, bud. Thank you.
Let's do it. Let's swan dive into the abyss.
I made a friend in my 30s.
And we are back from the break. Welcome back to Jam Mechanics.
Welcome back, everybody. How are you feeling? I'm feeling frustrated.
Why are you frustrated, Matt?
I got a whole song. I actually really like the song. I think it's a bit derivative, but I like the core of the song, and I have no hook. I just get to I was just sitting at the chorus for like a full hour, just going and there's just nothing.
There's no fail state for Jam Mechanics. If you didn't listen to season 1, we said this a lot. We're here to just get ideas on paper. So you don't have to write an entire song during the break of Jam Mechanics. If you come up with a chorus that you can come back and show off, that is a success for the day. Anyways, are we ready to show off some songs?
Yeah, I want to hear your song.
So a reminder of the prompt, Jesse Galloway of Bug Hunter came into Jam Cabin and plopped down on the table, Not in This Lifetime. And I had an idea. This one's kind of a bummer.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a bummer. I don't know if this story relates to the song I'm about to show you, but in my head it does. I went to a little like animal fair, like puppies and chickens and stuff over the weekend with Ladybug. So there was these little kuna pigs. They were so cute, and Ladybug was like, "Do you want to take a picture with the little piggies?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So I get down on the ground and I'm like playing with the pigs, and she takes pictures of me with the pigs, and then she shows them to me later. And here's the thing: I'm 32 years old. My bald spot is more prominent than the last time I checked. And I found that out via these pictures.
Oh, no.
And so I had just kind of like this, okay, yeah, the endless march of time no reversing it.
It's tough. You know, the thing about a bald spot is it's sort of like someone, the equivalent is like someone putting a kick me sign.
It is like having a kick me sign on your back. Not be like, there's nothing wrong with having a bald spot. There's nothing wrong with baldism, but it's something like, it's like a secret that everybody around me has known that I have not known, right?
It's just also like, generally, you know, it's like it's been on your back for like 18 months.
Yeah. And nobody will tell you. Nobody will just like tap you on the shoulder.
When was the last time you went up to someone and was like, "Hey, you're bald. You're bald."
Exactly.
So I wanted to interrupt you in the middle of that story and say, okay, well, you know, we're going to have to see those pictures, but my understanding is that those pictures will not be seeing the light of day.
It's hat forever from now on. I guess we're in hat forever. So that was kind of my mood when writing this song. This one,
now you have hooked me in the sense that I cannot comprehend where you might be going with this.
Yeah. None of that story is in this song, but that was my mindset, I think, when I was writing it. My song is called Crickets and Silence. For eagle-eyed listeners, I did, because I had my good friend and bandmate Jesse Galloway on the call earlier. You will notice something in this song that is sounds very unlike me in a normal Jam Mechanics demo. I had a little help with this one, so see if you can spot it. This song's called Crickets and Silence.
On a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm just a little guy, a little wooden guy, a little puppet. I know you know how the story goes. I was a little guy, a little wooden guy, but I'm a real boy now, and I am finding out that nothing could prepare me. I'm like Peter Parker's pediatrician, in over my head, and I admit it, with human flesh and skin and all the mess that comes with it. Oh, I was young and dumb and now I'm stuck. Dad, can you come pick me up? I'm just a little guy, a little human guy, applying bandages to manage, so damn easy to damage it.
Yeah.
That little wooden guy, that tough-skinned kid, could take a hit and keep running. This fragile man I'm becoming. This is his 80 grit blanket and the ocean right outside of my bedroom, and making choices just to see where they led to. But now adventures are a threat to every moment I get. I look around for guidance. Our bravest days behind us. We'll never be so bold again, with mortal bones and fragile skin.
Play it, Jesse.
Expect to find this, it's like Willy Wonka's wine cellar. Yeah, I guess I should have known better. Should have known that growing up is forever, but now we can't go back. I look around for guidance. Our bravest days behind us. We'll never be so bold again, with mortal bones and fragile skin. I look around for guidance, and all I hear is crickets and silence.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Thanks.
I love that. I am such a fan of that melody that's like, it just keeps going and going, and I love that. That's one of my favorite kinds of melodies, and you nail it there.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's an 80 grit blanket?
That is a reference to sandpaper. You measure sandpaper in grit, so 80 grit, 100 grit. It's like the roughness of the sandpaper, and I hope it's very clear that this is a Pinocchio-based song, Little Wooden Boy, and so 80 grit blanket was a little bit of imagery
You know what I'm going to say? I think you should put that "I was young and dumb and now I'm stuck. Dad, can you come pick me up" in there at least one more time.
I know. It barely got in there once. I even thought, I was like, Matt's not going to like that. I'm only going to do this once. But I didn't really have another spot for it because I kind of move, once I hit the actual chorus of the song, I kind of move past the silliness, I guess, of it. And I just didn't feel like there was another like opportune spot for that. So it felt like a cool little...
No, I like that a lot. It's also, that's darker than you normally go. Mortal Bones and Fragile Skin is getting into me territory. It's a red flag, Bug.
Yeah.
I feel like the unintentional comedy of this song is that now I know that this came from, ooh, I saw my bald spot.
So this song is not about that. It's just kind of the pun intended headspace that I was kind of in. For me, it's about getting older and getting more cautious.
Yeah.
And not being willing to take the risks that you were willing to take when you were a kid. For me, the example I always give is I'm done skiing.
Oh, God, yeah.
I skied when I was a kid and thought it was a blast. I went skiing when I was like 28, 29, and I was like, I could die at any moment and this isn't worth it to me. I'm going to go back to the lodge. And I'm sure there's tons of people who are like, you're being a weenie, Bug. That's fine. It just like my internals was like, I don't enjoy this enough to risk the thing that could happen if I'm just like going really fast and then I just fall over. And I was like, not worth it for me.
It's different when you're small. Like you literally just don't hit the ground as hard. When I was a kid, we used to just jump out of windows for fun and excitement, and then we'd be like, maybe we can jump out of like the second story window just for fun and excitement. And I'd just be like, let's see how high we can go before one of us breaks a leg, which heals in 35 minutes. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So this whole thing was meant to be Pinocchio's remorse of wishing to be a real boy and all of the fragility that comes with that. When he was a little wooden guy, he was just like, get nicks and cuts, but whatever, it's fine. Now that he can bleed and is mortal, he has to be more careful and he can't just go on little adventures. And that's what Not in This Lifetime unlocked for me when Jesse kind of gave me that prompt, was the things that, as time progresses, I am no longer going to be like in the same like mindset to do, and just things that you can't recapture from being a kid, being young. So I know it's kind of a bummer, but that's where I kind of got with this song, and I'm happy with it and what it is.
Well, when I thought about Not in This Lifetime, I thought about death. I thought about the end of things. I thought about love coming to a close, but maybe it's not necessarily the close. The song's called "The Nature of Forms," and this is like, for starters, there are no overdubs. It's literally live with a ukulele because I spent so long trying to get the chorus that I just gave up.
Okay.
And had no time to do anything except be like, riggedy-diggedy-doo.
Anything else you want to say before we hit go?
No.
Hit and go in 3, 2, 1, go.
When the space between the spaces starts to strain, when the puzzle pieces bend and don't quite fit in the same way, when the molecules that make us lose their charge and break apart under their weight, when the North Star doesn't point north anymore, when the constellations drift and leave us stranded on the shore, when the suns have all gone supernova, freeze and then retreat into their cores. If there's an after that comes after the before, if after all of everything there's still a little something more, and after all our time together we're both still on board, word. What if Plato had a point about ideals? If the nature of a form is born in an Elysian field, and the parts of us that we call I could maybe one day recollide somewhere, then I will find you where Ananke wound the spool, at the source of all the rivers, at the end of all the worlds. In the wreckage of the species, I will question every beast residing there. If there's an after that comes after the before, if there's some truth to all those stories I have mocked and sneered and scorned, and after all our time together, we're both still on board. Yeah, I'm really happy with some of the lyrics. I think the verses are great. I wish I just had something after all our time together. We're both still on board, and I also wish it didn't feel so much like a rewrite of "I Will Follow You into the Dark" by.
I got vibes of that.
You can't write a better song than that, like on this topic.
But having said that, there's a lot of great lines here. The one that stuck out to me on first listen was, yes, and all the parts of us that we call I could maybe one day recollide.
As usual, when I write a line, I'm just like, Bug's gonna like that. Yeah.
Because it brain bent me a little bit, because I read it as, and the parts of us that we call I could maybe one day recollide. And I was like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. And then I was like, okay. And the parts of us that we call I could maybe one day recollide. And I was like, yes, okay. And also trying to work out what, if there is an after that comes after the before means. I was like, is that now? Is that, no, it's tomorrow. After, before. And I think that's just fun. I think those are fun little kind of brain teasers in songs that, at the end of the day, they don't really need to mean anything. They vibe.
I think that there is a version of this song that doesn't stray quite so close to that other song. And I think there is a version of this song that has a satisfying hook, you know? But as it stands, like, I love when the North Star doesn't point north anymore and when the constellations drift and leave us standing on the shore. I love the bit about Plato. I think the bit about Ananke is a bit wanky. If you didn't pick up on that reference, that's a reference to a track that is on my first album, Ananke being the Orphic god of fate who weaves at the loom of fate, and I needed something. And
can I make a confession?
Yeah.
For a very long time, I thought loom of fate was one word.
Who weaves at the loom of fate?
Who weaves the loom of fate? And I didn't know what that meant, but I thought it sounded so cool until I finally looked up the lyrics like 6 months ago, and I was like, loom of fate.
Well, it means a lot to me that you would look up the lyrics at all.
Well, I wanted to know what a loom of fate was.
She's just going to Greek scholars and being like, can you tell me what a loom of fate is?
I so want a loom of fate. I think I want one to decorate the downstairs. The Ananke reference made me be like, Narcissist Cookbook, cinematic universe.
Yeah, of course. I'm always trying to build a little cinematic universe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy with what that is. I wish it had come out slightly different. I wish it had come out a bit more complete, but I can imagine coming back to that in 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, and going, I know what to do with this.
Yeah, like you clearly had a vision. Like I see your vision. It's so well laid out. We're at the end of time, right? And it's, you know, you and me, right? You and me together, end of time.
You and me, Bug.
You and me specifically, the two of us. End of time, still here making jam mechanics in the jam mechanics loom of fate.
Really looking for special guests, really struggling for special guests here at the end of time.
Any amoeba that passes by.
Hey, what's your jam, Amoeba? Would you come back?
It's Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So, jam mechanics. No such thing as failure. Impossible to fail.
Thank you to Jesse Galloway, for hopping on and giving us our prompt today. If you like these songs, they're going to be up for download on jammechanics.com or www.jammechanics.bandcamp.com. You can go and grab those right now, right this moment. They're pay what you want to download. So if you want to throw some support, you can. Otherwise, feel free to download those bad boys and load them onto your phone. If you want to email us,
you can email us.
hello@jammechanics.com or bug@jammechanics.com or tnc@jammechanics.com. Anything else?
Come and join our Discord. You want to join the Jam Mechanics Discord, or you want to join the Bug Hunter or Narcissist Cookbook Discord. At the very least, the Jam Mechanics Discord link will be below in the show notes. Or you can just message us, which is, that's probably the safest way of doing it. And we'll be back in, I think by the time this releases, we will almost be done. No, by the time this releases, where will we be?
We'll have just finished up our June tour. So if you live on the West Coast and you're just hearing this, I hope you had a good time at a show. Or I'm sorry that you missed that we were just in town. We're going to be in the Midwest on the East Coast in August and September. If you want tickets to it's not a Jam Mechanics tour, but it is a Bug Hunter and the Narcissist Cookbook tour, going around playing our original music. We're going to be in like Boston and Chicago and Dallas and Florida. So if you want details about that, go to www.bughunterbug.com and you can find all the ticket links there for August and September.
And by now, obviously, you will have heard about that thing I said on stage at Seattle that got me like booed a lot. But it won't happen again. And I'm seeking help.
I stand by you and what you said, and whatever you said, I endorse 100%. And I don't apologize. You said what everyone was thinking. You have free reign to just ruin me now.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us at Jam Mechanics. That is the end of episode 3, and we will see you in episode, as is tradition, 4.
Matt, you got a little jingle for us?
Oh, shit.
Somehow forgets.
Okay. If there's an after that comes after the before, if after all of everything there's still a little something more, after all our time together, we're still both on board. Boners. No, I don't. God, I can't do it. I was really hoping
our outro music to fix your song.
They always told me I was speaking too early. Your lack of buddies is a little concerning. You heard the rumors, now I'm hearing confirming. I made a friend in my 30s.